It's now been confirmed by UK authorities within the past couple of hours that one of the three London Bridge attackers, Khuram Butt, worked on the London Underground for 6 months last year. That's even though he'd actually featured in a TV documentary on Islamist extremism in the UK. Let's go live to Westminster now. RT's Laura Smith joins us. Laura, unnerving for many this. What more are we hearing?
Deeply unnerving. We have a statement from Transport for London which makes it absolutely beyond doubt that one of the London Bridge attackers did indeed work on the London Underground at some point last year. The TfL spokesman said Khuram Butt worked for London Underground for just under 6 months as a trainee customer services assistant, and he left in October last year, which is not that long ago at all. This, of course, is a major concern for many Londoners who use and tourists who use the tube to come to work and to travel around the city. The tube system's frequented by millions of people every day. It's a network of tunnels, of course, which is also a deeply sensitive thing. We understand that he trained at West Kensington tube station, but he moved around from there and had access to all sorts of sensitive areas because of that. He also, for a time, we understand, worked at Westminster Tube, just, a stone's throw from the Houses of Parliament. And from Westminster Tube, there's a network of tunnels that runs under the Houses of Parliament. So it really doesn't bear thinking about from where we're standing here. We also understand that he was sacked not for holding extremist views, but for poor attendance. This is obviously a very fast-moving investigation, and we also now have the name and identity of a third attacker. He was named originally by the Italian media, and that's since been confirmed by the Metropolitan Police, a man called Yusuf Zagba, a 22-year-old Italian national, we understand, who was of Moroccan descent. An Italian newspaper, in fact, said that he had been stopped by police at an airport in Bologna in 2016. He was trying to fly from there to Turkey and then travel on to Syria. The paper's been reporting that he was actually charged with international terrorism, but the charges were subsequently dropped. He's not the only one, of course. Khuram Butt was also previously under investigation by authorities. He was known to MI5 for Islamic extremism, but they didn't think that he warranted being kept under investigation. Of course, they didn't really need to keep him under investigation because he was, in fact, on television. He'd appeared in the past in this Channel 4 documentary called The Jihadists Next Door, which he was in to talk about the presence of violent Muslim extremists in British cities. My colleague Miguel Santiago has more.
It's official. One of the London Bridge attackers was an Islamist known to the authorities. He was even known to the nation as he was featured in a UK TV documentary. Here we can see the now deceased terrorist, Khuram Shazad Butt, who went by the name Abs, unfolding the black flag of ISIL. I mean, this guy in Britain waving an ISIL flag. Hello? Red flags, anyone? Apparently, they weren't red enough. The 27-year-old Khuram Shazad was born in Pakistan but grew up in the UK. Now, the intelligence services were aware of this man but say there wasn't any intelligence to suggest he was planning a terror attack. Westminster, Manchester, and now London Bridge, all happening within just 3 months. And in each case, it seems the British intelligence services were aware of the perpetrator but failed to prevent the attack. Theresa May says she's had enough.
It is time to say enough is enough. Everybody needs to go about their lives as they normally would. But when it comes to taking on extremism and terrorism, things need to change.
But it's like a terror Groundhog Day all over Europe, somehow missed by the intelligence services. Yet the leaders sing along to the same tune.
Terrorism will not destroy the Republic, because it is the Republic that will destroy it.
We'll remain united and together. We'll remain fully mobilized to protect our liberty and our way of life.
London Mayor Mr. Khan says there is nothing to worry about.
I want to reassure all Londoners and all our visitors not to be alarmed. Our city remains one of the safest in the world.
City authorities are now building barricades to prevent further attacks. But does it make people feel safer?
I think it would be best if you had them everywhere at the moment.
It's a difference only for the cars, but for the people who have the gun,
I don't know if we're really safe, if we're ever going to be safe.
Maybe instead it's time to start acting differently when it comes to intelligence. Miguel Francis Santiago, RT.